Hello students. So once again we are back to the discussion session of our English questions. Okay. So you had a model exam recently and hope you have scored well for that exam. So today we will discuss where you might have gone wrong, and in case if you have got most of the answers correct, that means you are on the right track. Okay. So this time for this exam you might have noticed that you had 3 passages, you attended 3 passages, right? So remember, for the main exam also there are chances, or else according to the pattern that is already given, we have 3 comprehensive passages or 3 reading passages. So based on that you could take this model test as the one with perfect practice. Okay. Now remember, you have different types of passages. It could be factual, it could be narrative, it could be any such what you call semi-factual, semi-narrative. Okay. So anyways, this is factual one. Okay. So factual plus narrative, both narration plus factual. So it's semi-narrative or semi-factual. You can call it either way. So remember, when you get a narrative factual passage, or a passage like this which is semi or balanced, you can't get, it might be time consuming, but still you cannot get the answer straight after one reading. You can have a quick reading and after that you have to read it again to get the answers. Okay. So here it's a bit too lengthy passage, so definitely it is time consuming, but you cannot skip many questions, right? So you need to read this twice to get the answers, because the options are so close that you have to read it at least 2 or 3 times, sometimes 3 times also, to get the correct answer. Okay, so you can expect such questions, right? So let us come straight to the first question based on the first passage. Which of the following is not the characteristic of bureaucratic culture? Always remember, see, when you read the question, sometimes when you read it very quickly, a bit carelessly, you might not notice the instruction given clearly to you. For example, the first instruction given to you is, which of the following is not the characteristic? Okay, which is not true according to the passage, that is a question. So in case if you get, if you read it and select the one which is already given in the passage, that will be wrong. So whatever is not given in the passage, that is what you have to choose for this particular question. Okay. Managers listen poorly and learn slowly is given in the passage. Then managerial competencies are nurtured, that also is given in the first paragraph. Then employee clearly see the forces that present threats and opportunities. They do not see it clearly, so this is the correct answer. Employee clearly see the forces that present threats and opportunities. That actually is not seen by the employees, so that is the correct answer. Okay. Now, second also is quite similar in character. Which of the following statements is not true in the context of the passage? That means out of the 4 options given, 3 are already there in the passage as given by the speaker of this passage or the writer or narrator of the passage, and 1 is contradictory, means 1 is not given. Okay. So let us see which statement has not been given. So since this passage, the font size is too small, you will have, it's a waste of time if I read the whole thing and if I try to locate the particular statement. Okay. So anyways, you have attended the exam, so you might have read it well and you might have scored also. Okay. Bureaucratic culture smother those who want to respond to changing conditions. That is already given in the passage. Leadership produces change and has the potential to establish direction. Then pressure on managers come mostly from within. All these are based on the passage. But the last one, leadership centers on carrying out important functions such as planning and problem solving. Leadership, according to this passage, is not just planning and problem solving. So that particular factor is not given in the passage, or that is not the idea presented by the writer. So that is contradictory to the passage, or that is the correct answer, which is not true according to the passage. Okay. Next is, why did companies and universities develop programs to prepare managers in such large number? Why do they require quite a good number? Okay, so that within the question itself, it's clear. The large number, see, it's already given in the question, the hint. The answer is, the large number of organizations were created and they need managers in good number. Okay, so actually this is given somewhere towards the end of this passage, but then it's hard to find since the we did not have see here it is given we did not or they did not have enough good managers to keep. Also they need more number of managers. Okay, so the large number of organizations were created and they needed managers in good number. Okay, which of the following is similar in meaning of the word smother as used in the, that means in the context in which smother is used in the passage, which is similar, which is a synonym. Suppress, encourage, instigate, criticize, suppress. Suppress is the meaning. Okay, according to this passage. What according to the author is leadership? See, you might have noticed the second question is just the contradictory. Leadership centers on carrying out important functions such as planning and problem solving. That is not leadership according to the writer. So, what according to the author is leadership? According to the passage, it is inspiring people to realize the vision. Okay, so it's inspiring people to realize their vision is what you call true leadership. Okay, so they have to inspire the vision of the so they have to realize the vision. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Now we have the second passage. Okay, and this again is a kind of factual passage. Factual, more factual in tone. So, factual passage, that means things are given clearly. Again, you have to read it twice to understand the passage, like the central idea of the passage. Okay. What, let us come straight to the question. Sixth question. What could be some of the practical applications of animal intelligence? According to this paragraph or this passage, what are some of the practical applications of animal intelligence? Where are those, intelligence, where are those animals' intelligence put into practice? Okay. Is it to use dolphins for solving different mathematical problems? No. To use some animals for guarding and supervising other animals? That is there, but not all the above. So, to develop new approaches, so the main thing is to develop new approaches to communicate with handicapped and mentally ill children. Okay, so that is the main purpose, to help handicapped children. Okay, to develop new approaches to communicate with handicapped and mentally ill children. That I guess is given in the second paragraph of this passage. Okay, so anyways, the answer is the second one, to use handicapped, or else to use them in what you call helping the handicapped and mentally ill children. Okay, so that is the main purpose. All right. Now, second question based on the passage. In many studies of animal intelligence and language skills, the performance significantly drops. Okay, in many studies of animal intelligence and language skills, the performance significantly drops what? Okay, that is given on the third line, I guess, as an animal. See, skill performance plummets or drops as more elements are added to a task, and as an animal here. As an animal has to remember these elements for long periods. That is given as such in the question. Only that word is different, drops or plummets, almost same. Okay. Then what makes a perfect puzzle for large-brained, highly social species like humans according to the author? It is, of course, determining the moral implications of the fact that animals might actually think. Okay, animals might actually think, they have that intelligence. That is the thing which what makes a perfect puzzle for a large brained, highly social species like what are we surprised at? Now, what really pushed the human brain towards superiority? Why are human brains superior? Is it because the need to keep track of ever more complex social interactions, or the need to develop efficient methods of gathering? Gathering food is just one of the options or one of the functions. Then the need to find better methods of defending themselves is another one. The need to evolve faster, and but according to the passage, the first one, the need to keep track of ever more complex social interactions. Okay. Now, the last question based on this passage. What is the ethical problem posed by the nation that animals might actually think? Okay. So, according to this passage, the ethical problem that the narrator discusses is animals cannot perhaps be treated as mere resources. See, it is one thing, ethical, have moral, or ethical means moral. It's one thing to treat animals as mere resources. Okay. So I was wondering if the first also could be found somewhere in the first passage. Both dolphins that have complex interactions, but the intricacy of social world builds and not characterized by us. Homo sapiens don't gather food, defend themselves in Somalia today, demanding the accosted site. I have to read the whole thing to get the first one. Okay. That these species also produce similar abilities in less instead. All right. See, here I have communicating with handicapped and autistic children means, see, new approach to communication with handicapped and autistic means mentally ill children. I was wondering where I came across that statement and now I got it. So, that is how we got all the answers according to the passage, in accordance with the passage. Okay. Now, we have the third passage. So, remember, we have 3 passages. And right now we have 5 questions each. Okay, more number could be expected. So anyways, which of the following industries, this is also factual, which of the following industries has not been referred to in this passage? Okay, so we have been given a few options like aluminium industry, brick industry, paper, iron. Okay, so among these, which has not been referred to? So let us see if aluminium is referred to aluminium industry. So this is not the correct answer. Then brick industry, that also I came across somewhere those words. Paper also, paper mills. Okay. Then brick industry also is there according to these metals. See, brick industry. So aluminium, paper, bricks, all these are referred to in the passage, but not iron. Iron industry is not at all mentioned. Okay. Now next is, according to the author, who decides the beneficiaries of various subsidies? Okay, is it the bureaucrats, industrialists, or rich farmers? But none of these. These people have no right. Okay. Now, which of the following describes correctly the approach of the author? That means when you read the passage, what according to you is the tone of the author or the attitude of the author? Okay, so for that you need to read and you have to match it with the options given to you. Is it positive criticism followed by suggestions? No suggestions have been given. So the first option cannot be taken. Then to prove how government has handled the situation effectively. Nothing is given which proves that the government has handled the situation effectively. But actually the tone of this writer is one-sided, means his personal or else being partial, negative in tone, and highly critical. Suggestions have not been mentioned. Then a kind of proper evaluation of the process is not being done. Instead, it is his personal views, and that too in a negative tone and highly critical. That is the tone of this whole passage. Okay, if you read it again, you may find it. 4 of the 5 words used, so this for these 2 questions you have been given 5 options each. So 4 of the 5 words used in the passages form one group, and the 5th one does not belong to that group. That means out of these 5 words, 4 can be formed into 4 words, can come together as a group, and you have to find the odd one. Okay, among these 5 words, you have to find the word which is not matching in the group. Okay. So giant means big, bulk also means huge, high, small, large. So that means these giant, then bulk, high and large, these are all similar in meaning, and what does not match with the group is small. So this is the correct answer. The small does not belong to the group. Where we speak about things which are giant or big in size, huge in size, high, etc., where this word stands out separately. So in that sense, this is the correct answer. Okay. Now, which of the following statements is true in the context of the passage? Okay. Paper mills and basket weavers both get bamboo at very low rates, or wood from banyan trees used by the cement industries. Okay, the government machinery is taking a balanced view of about the development, or the cement industry is responsible for polluting the. So according to this passage, this one is correct. Okay. Now we have again a kind of passage given, but actually it is fill the blanks type, for which you have to, these are all vocabulary based questions for which you need to find out the proper words with which you can fill up the blanks. Okay, just in the form of a paragraph where a few words are missing and you have to choose from the given options and you have to insert those words to make it a meaningful complete passage. Okay. In the following, yeah, that's the instruction given to you. The rise in the Raleigh dolphin, kind of dolphin dash in Chilica. Dolphin natives. We do not use dolphin as natives or inhabitants. We use these terms for human beings, not for animals or creatures like that. But we can use just like tiger population. We do not say tiger inhabitants or tiger natives. Okay, mostly we use these terms for human beings. So tiger population, lion population, likewise we use. So similarly for this type of dolphin population in Chilka can be attributed to the eviction of dash fish enclosures. Okay, dash fish enclosures, it is not unwarranted or illegitimate or unconstituted but illegal fish enclosures. After thousands of hectares of Chilika Lake were made dash free. What free? Confiscation? No. Encroachment free. Encroachment means to invade in the privacy of something or someone and causing harm to the creatures. So that is the proper. See, trespass means just entering a person's property without permission. Okay, but here or intervention means to interfere. So these are the words not applicable in this context. But encroachment means we not just trespassing, we enter illegally, plus we also cause harm. So this is the proper word to be used. It should be encroachment. Okay. Irrawaddy, dolphins found unobstructed area for movement. Okay, so that's a complete sentence. Dash, due to COVID-19 lockdown last year, there were, along with that, or moreover, so this is moreover, due to COVID-19 lockdown last year, there were comparatively fewer tourist boards on Chilika Lake, which made it conducive, not detrimental, but conducive or favorable for dolphins to move from one part of the lake to another. Okay, so we are again given a factual type of passage with a few words missing. So now it makes a sensible passage if these words are used, like the rise in the Irrawaddy dolphin, kind of dolphin species. Okay, dolphin population in Chilika can be attributed to the eviction of illegal fish enclosures after thousands of hectares of Chilika Lake were made dash free, encroachment free. That means no permission for encroachment. These dolphins found unobstructed area for they could move easily. Okay. Moreover, due to COVID-19 lockdown also last year, there were comparatively fewer tourist boards and they were not disturbed. So in that sense, they could found it conducive or favorable. Okay. Now this is very simple. Sentences of the paragraph are given below in jumbled way. You have to arrange these sentences in the correct order to form a meaningful and coherent or connective or logical paragraph. Okay, quite simple. Very simple, I must say, almost like story type. He stamped them. So you cannot start with that. They had information, of course, no. No sooner, we cannot start a passage with that, but an official. So we can start with D. An official entered our train compartment and asked for passports. So after he got the passports, what did he do? He stamped them. So D-A. D-A-C-B. D-A-C-B. Okay, D-A-C-B. So now it makes a sensible passage. An official entered our train compartment and asked for passports, and he stamped them mechanically and returned them to us. No sooner had he left that than the custom officers entered and they had information that large amount of money were being smuggled out of the country. Okay, so now this order makes it a sensible and logical passage. Okay. Now you have to give the meaning of the idiom to have an axe to grind. To have an axe to grind. See, unfortunately, in the case of idioms, so these are all verbal expressions, vocabulary based questions where, see, you cannot connect it with the words printed. It has got nothing to do with axe or grinding or anything like that. So it is an idiom which means to have an axe to grind means you do something with a personal or selfish motive or personal purpose. Okay. So to have first option itself is the correct answer. To have a selfish or personal motive in doing something. So you do not do it as a favor. In fact, you do that task with an intention to fulfill one of your aims. That means your personal motive. Okay. Now select the option that can be used as a one-word substitute for the given group of words. Okay. That means what do you call the study of diseases? Study of diseases. So science students, you might know it is pathology. Pathology is actually the study of diseases. Then what is anthology, etymology and neurology? Neurology also you might know it's a study of nervous system and all. Then etymology and anthology are in connection with or used in connection with literature. Okay. Anthology is actually a collection of some write-ups, maybe prose write-ups or poetry. So together when you have a collection of poems or stories, etc., you call it as anthology. Okay. Then etymology is also the study of words and their origin. Okay, words and their origin together, and that branch of study is what you call etymology. So these two things are connected with the literature. So pathology is actually in general the study of diseases. Okay. Now select the most appropriate option to fill up this blank. In the absence of the principal, the vice principal dash for him. See, this is a situation which you people are familiar with, like when you were in school or else in colleges or institutions where you studied, where you are doing or you have done your work. Like the head of the institution, it might be, like in the case of a school, it might be, it is, of course not, it might be, but it is the like the head of the institution will be the principal. Okay. So you may have noticed when the principal is away with some like errands of his own or else for official purpose, when he's away out of station, who takes care of things in the school? It will be the vice principal, right? So when the vice principal takes charge of the responsibilities, which word is to be chosen? That is the meaning of the statement. Okay. So in the absence of the principal, the vice, that means taking up the responsibilities of that institution, what is that one word to be used? Vice principal dash for him. Okay. Is it deputes for him? Is deputed for him would have been correct to a large extent. Exchange for him, it's not any exchange offer, but then this word is correct. Officiates means to take charge of the office. Okay. Here to take charge of the office means to take charge of the responsibilities. So this is the exact what you call, not the vice principal replaces for him. Replaces him would have been a better choice, but not for him. Okay. So this is the better word or the best word or accurate word. Officiates for him means take up the responsibilities or carry out the responsibilities in the office or else the responsibilities of that institution. Okay. Next is again rearrange these sentences to make it a meaningful paragraph. Okay, this also is very simple. The sand is so hot, we cannot start with that. So with A we cannot start. Here there is nothing. This also is not the first sentence to start with, but C part. So with C we can start. A great part of Arabia is a desert. So we have two options which start with C. Okay, a great part of Arabia is a desert. Okay, and then B, we can go to B, C, B, C, B, C, B, then A, D, C, B, A, D. So this is how it goes. CBAD, which means a great part of Arabia is a desert. Here there is nothing but sand and rock. The sand is so hot that you cannot walk over it in the daytime. However, there are springs of water, but these are few and far apart. So definitely in this order, if you arrange these sentences, it would make a sensible, logical passage or paragraph. Okay. Select the most appropriate option to fill in the blank. The more he tried to solve the mystery, the more dash he felt. Like when you are given a kind of puzzle, like a mystery, and if you want to solve it, the more you try it, the more you use your brain, sometimes it would get complicated and you feel totally confused, right? So not just totally confused, totally puzzled and totally complicated. So what is that word with which we can substitute the whole sentence, or that the more dash he felt, which is a better word? Not humbled or callous, okay? Confusing is a word, more confused he felt, okay, more confused, but perplexed is the better choice of the word. Why? Because when a person is perplexed, that means not just being a small confusion, it's totally complicated, totally puzzled, totally confused. So that intensity is shown better with the word perplex. So perplex is the better word to be used, okay. The more he tried to solve the mystery, the more perplexed he, not confused but perplexed he. Here actually it is confusing, not confused. So there is no chance of taking the option. It is A option, perplexed. ED form is to be used. Okay. Now select the most appropriate antonym or opposite of the given word. Okay. Empathy. Empathy is to show sympathy, concern for one's fellow being, okay, to show concern, okay, a kind of love, concern, etc. Now, appreciation is not the opposite of empathy. Warmth is actually a kind of consideration, so that is not opposite. Then sympathy is not opposite, but it could be taken as a kind of synonym, okay, similar in meaning. Apathy is the totally detached attitude, or else totally indifferent attitude, or else having no mercy, or else a kind of negative attitude. So apathy is the exact word which is opposite to empathy, okay. For sympathy also you can use the same opposite, apathy. Now select the most appropriate sequence. Again you have to rearrange these sentences into, so this time we had three similar type of questions where the sentences were asked to be rearranged so that you would get a meaningful paragraph. Okay, so this also is quite easy. They appeared, A option, we cannot start with A option. An expedition had left it. So what is that? It we do not know. So we cannot start with B also. Now in Antarctica, so this is we can start with C. So first and second options started with C, right? Let us see which one is correct. In Antarctica, 2 penguins found a video camera. And after that, you can take B. So CB, this order, CBDA. CBDA. Okay, not CADB, but CBDA. So these two options you do not have to check. Why? Because the paragraph should start with C. Okay. So now let us read it. In Antarctica, 2 penguins found a video camera. An expeditioner had left it. That camera was left by an expeditioner sitting on the ice while he visited a rookery. And the penguins curiously stared down at the camera. They appeared to be posing for selfie. So now this is a complete paragraph. Select the most appropriate word for the given group of words. That means you can find out the one word for this particular group of words. What do you call the cultivation of grapevines? Many of you might know the that particular process, viticulture. Okay, viticulture is what you call the cultivation of grapevines, not agriculture. Horticulture also is almost like plant cultivation, all the scientific, the technique, scientific approach towards plant cultivation, but not anything about grapevines alone. Then sericulture is silk farming. Okay, so viticulture is the correct statement. I mean, correct word to be used. Select the most appropriate synonym. Now give the synonym for cogent. Cogent means, cogent means convincing. Cogent means convincing. like you make something convincing. Okay, you like the way you try to put things, you try to explain something so that would be convincing enough for the people to understand. Okay, not weak or ineffective or pathetic, but something convincing. Now select the most appropriate. Again, one more like same type of question where you need to find out a synonym for the word avert. Avert means not confronting a person, not to face or permit a person, but to prevent. Avert is to prevent something from something else, some action or so. So it is avert means to prevent. Okay, avert means to deviate, to make something deviate or prevent, or to block and redirect. Okay, so it is prevent. Now select the most. A statement is given. This is the statement. A tigress has given. So I'll just mark it down like this. A tigress has given birth to a cub in the Ranthambore Tiger Reserve, taking the big cat population to, big cat means the tiger population, to 78. Okay. Now the thing is, if this sentence, one of a few words are underlined, has given birth is underlined. Okay. Now when you read the statement, if you feel that whatever has been underlined, it does not match with the sentence and it needs improvement, you have to choose the option if it is required. And if there is no improvement required, that means you have to choose no substitution required. No improvement or no substitution required. Okay. So let us read that sentence again. The tigress has given birth to a cub in Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. Nothing wrong in it. It's absolutely correct. So, no substitution required. It's already correct. Okay. Now, select the most appropriate meaning of the given idiom. So, here also see this time all these idioms are given separately as expressions and not in the form of sentences, not in the form of examples. So, definitely you have to sometimes you may get clue from the words printed and sometimes you cannot connect anything with the printed words. Okay. So, be hard up. So, be hard up. If you think about it with the options given, find it difficult to wake up. Hard up is not something connected with the waking up in the morning, right? But or unable to calculate. Calculation also has got nothing to do with being like something hard. Have difficulty in climbing stairs, no. But this one having very little. So when you are in financial crisis, when you have very limited little bit of money, limited sources of money, you can call it as you are being hard up. Okay, hardened up or hard up. So hard up means having very little money or a kind of financial crisis. Okay, so this is the correct option. Now select the option that can be used as a one word substitute. Again, like the one which we have solved right now. What do you call the study of earthquakes? The study of earthquakes. In GK question also you might have come across this. It's not geography, topography, these are all other and geology, all these are in connection with the study of earth, land, features, etc. So seismology is the study of earthquakes. Otherwise geography, topography, geology, these are in connection with the study of earth and study of land, features of land, depth, size, all these things. So shape, etc. So seismology is exactly the study of earthquakes. Okay. Now select the most appropriate meaning of the given idiom. Again an idiom is given. So this time you have been given 3 idioms and then that too not in the form of sentences. Okay. In the same breath. I guess you are familiar with this. In the same breath means you try to do 2 things at the same time. In the same breath. Okay. So try and hold your breath. It has got nothing to do with your breath. Okay, not practicing breathing exercises, but you say 2 contradictory things at the same time, and that are contradictory. All right. So remember, you make statements which are contradictory, opposite to each other, and that too at the same time. Okay, you say that okay, something right and something wrong, contradictory at the same time. So when a statement is made by a speaker where two contradictory things appear at the same time, you can use this idiom in the same breath. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Let me mark it. Saying two contradictory things, opposite things at the same time. Okay. Now find out a synonym of the more vocabulary questions are given this time. Select the most appropriate synonym for the given word. Retaliate is the word given. Retaliate, see, when you look at the sentence retaliate and the options given to you, like most of you think that retaliate could be in tone connected with the first option given to you, facilitate, but even if the spelling is has something in common, but retaliate does not mean facilitate. In fact, it means to react, to respond or react. Okay, so do not go for the similar sounding words, but you have to understand, you should know the meaning of the word. It is to react, not to facilitate. Now, to walk aimlessly. When people walk aimlessly, what is that one word with which you can explain that? Okay, easy to slither or crawl, sprint or amble. Okay, so you know the meaning of these words, especially slither, crawl. See, snakes slither. The movement of reptiles, especially like snakes, when they move on the floor, you can call it a slithering movement. Okay, then crawling, also reptiles crawl, babies crawl. Then sprint means to jump. So these words have got no connection with to walk aimlessly. So to walk aimlessly is to amble. So he ambled means without any particular aim, he just walked around. Okay, wandering without any particular aim or purpose. Okay, aimlessly. Now, you have to find out the incorrectly spelled word. So, one of these words has got wrong spelling, and that is what you have to find. Okay. So, manners, tuition, circuit, genuine. So, manners, M-A-N-N-E-R-S, correct spelling. Circuit, C-I-R-C-U-I-T, correct spelling. Genuine with G-E-N-U-I-N-E, correct spelling. But this word tuition has got the wrong spelling, and how will you correct it? It should be T-U-I-T-I-O-N. So, there is an I here which is missing, and that is the correction. So, this tuition word is the answer. That means this word has been written with wrong spelling. Okay, that I is missing. Now, in this statement or in this sentence, if any part has error, you have to choose that part which has error. If there is no error, you can use the C option, no error. Okay, let us look at the sentence. If the economy fails this year, it reflects badly on the government. If, that means possibility in future. If the economy fails this year, that means it had not happened. So, it does not happen usually, but it's a possibility. That means a future possibility. So, definitely, if the economy fails this year, it will reflect badly. So, this part has gone wrong. So, this year it reflect, this particular part has gone wrong. And how will you correct it? If the economy fails this year, it will reflect. You have to make it as it will reflect badly on the government. So, this part is wrong. Okay. Next is select the option that expresses the given sentence in passive voice construction. All right. Now, she handles, that means a sentence is given, she handles all tasks efficiently. Okay, she handles all tasks efficiently. She handles all tasks efficiently. I just wrote it so that it will be visible to you. So, according to the rules that you have studied, this is actually an active voice construction because she, the person is, subject is given importance. Okay. Now, subject is here, verb is here, object also is here. So definitely, what is the rule to convert active into passive? You have to make object as this is a subject, this is verb, and this is object. So to make it a passive voice construction, you have to start with object. That means all tasks effectively. So you have to start with all tasks effectively or efficiently. Okay, efficiently. Okay, so all tasks efficiently. So for the time being, this efficiently could be added later. Okay, so all tasks and handles. Handles is simple present tense. So are handled. All tasks are handled, and then efficiently. Okay, all tasks are handled efficiently by her. So all, what about other options? All tasks were. So this has become past tense. We cannot change the tense. Are being again the tense has been changed. You cannot make it in or convert in other tenses, but in the same tense itself. So it is all tasks are handled efficiently by her. Okay. Now fill in the blank with appropriate set of words. Okay, with set of words. That means two blanks are there. You have to choose an option where both the words are applicable for the blank, not just one of the words. Right from the beginning, dash government's focus has been on dash development of the country. Okay. So not a government but the government. Okay. So not a development but the development. So in both the blanks we require the. Right from the beginning, the government's focus has been on the development of the country. So the is required in both the blanks. Okay. On his way to school, Franz says that he had the strength to resist and chose to hurry off to school. He had the strength to resist. That means it's a kind of expression, a kind of idiom. When you have the strength to resist means somebody tried to tempt you with something and you had that talent or you had that ability to overcome that temptation. So that is the meaning actually. On his so this statement is a correct statement. You don't have to substitute it. The thing is, whatever is underlined in that sentence, what does it mean? What does it mean about, or what does it show about the character's attitude? Okay. So on his way to school, Franz says that he had the strength to resist and chose to hurry off to school. So the underlined phrase suggests that Franz was earlier. So he was earlier not hesitant or threatened by anyone, but he was tempted by something. So he was earlier tempted by something, but ultimately he had the courage to overcome that temptation. So strength to resist means to overcome a kind of temptation. So it shows that he was earlier tempted. Okay. So for such types of sentences, make sure that you read and understand the instruction given to you. Only after that you try to solve. Here it is not that you have to find out a substitute for the underlined thing, but according to the statement, what was the attitude of Franz? This is the question. Okay. Next is change the voice of the sentence. Again, active, passive. Okay. This alligator is fed by the main zookeeper every day. So this alligator is fed by the main zookeeper every day. So this is actually passive voice construction. This is passive voice. Why? Because the object has been given importance. The alligator is the object. Is fed is simple present tense. Okay, alligator is the object. Is fed is the tense used by the main zookeeper every day. So this is the subject. So the one who does the action is the subject. So here, since the subject is given secondary importance, so it is passive voice construction. So you have to find the active voice of that. So we can start with the main zookeeper. Okay, the main zookeeper is fed is simple present tense. So feeds. Why? Because main zookeeper singular. The main zookeeper feeds the alligator every day. It feeds this, not the, but this alligator. So the main zookeeper feeds this alligator every day. What about other sentences? The main zookeeper fed, it would become past tense. We cannot accept that. Then had fed, past perfect. Is feeding is present continuous, not simple present. So you cannot change the tense also. So according to the rules of active passive construction, this is the proper one with like correct usage of the word feeds, which means simple present tense, just like this, simple present tense. Okay. He pilfered many precious things from the palace. He pilfered. Okay. Pilfered. Is it destroyed? He pilfered many precious things from the palace. To take away. So from the palace. Okay. Not in the palace. So it is not destroyed or damaged, but stole. It almost means that he stole many things from the palace. See, this word from is the hint to your answer. Suppose if it is in the palace, it could have been destroyed, damaged, etc. So here it is stole because it's from the palace, not in the palace. Okay. Select the option that best expresses the sentence in direct speech. So here we have indirect speech. Find out the direct one of the same. He asked me when I had booked the flight tickets. This is indirect speech, reported speech. He asked me. That means he said to me. Every option started with he said to me. It's a question. So when I had booked, I had booked. Had booked means past perfect. What changes to past perfect when it is converted to indirect speech? Simple past changes to past perfect. So let us find out the simple past tense here. He said to me, when did you? So this is simple past tense. So this is the correct option. Other options here, do is here, are, you had, again same tense. So remember, do not get confused with active, passive and direct, indirect speech. In active, passive voice, there is no change in the tense. But in direct and indirect speech, there is change in the use of tense. Okay. So here, this is a simple, past perfect. That means the direct speech should have simple past tense. Simple past tense changes to past perfect if it is converted to indirect speech. So here only one option has got simple past tense and that is your answer. He said to me, when did you book the flight tickets? Okay. Next is the following statement has been split into 4 segments. Identify the segment that has got error. Okay. Every curious child want to rip open a toy. Every curious child, nothing wrong. Want to rip open a toy. Here want to is wrong. Want to is wrong. Instead of how will you correct it? Because every child or every curious, not children, child, singular. So it should be want. So how will you correct it? Every curious child wants to rip open a, not all children. If it is all children, this would have been correct statement. Every child is singular. So here it should be wants. Every curious child wants to rip open a toy. Okay. Then next is, it was, again a part of the sentence might be wrong. If there is no error, you can choose no error. Okay. It was the very well directed film and we enjoyed it. It was, that part is correct. And we enjoyed it is also correct. So the wrong part is, or the part which has got error is the very well directed film. So how will you correct it? Instead of the, you have to use a. It was a very well directed film and we enjoyed it. Next is, select the option that expresses the given sentence in active voice. So active, all weapons were surrendered by them. This is passive voice. You have to find out the active of the same. All weapons, so this is object. All weapons object were surrendered is simple past tense, them. Okay. So that means you have to start with they. Every sentence started with they. Were surrendered is simple past. So what is the correct option? What is the correct answer? They surrendered all weapons. Where is that? Yeah, this one, this option. They surrendered, simple past tense, simple past tense. They surrendered all weapons. In other options, had surrendered is past perfect, have surrendered is present perfect, are surrendered is simple present tense and here it is simple past tense, so you have to use they surrendered all weapons. Okay. Now next is select the most appropriate option that we can substitute the underlined segment in the given, and if there is no substitution required, you can choose that. The authorities are assured the people. Of course, when you read it, you may find that it is a wrong sentence. The authorities are assured the people that. So, the authorities have assured. So, this particular underlined statement requires substitution. It should be like have, not have been assured, but have, not has. Why? Because authorities plural. The authorities have assured the people that they will look into the matter. Now, finally, we have one more question with a word to fill it up. The increasing concerns about climate change point to the need for enhanced efforts towards ing form, towards achieving sustained growth, towards achieving sustained growth, not towards achieved, sustained, achieve or to achieve. Towards to achieve is wrong, towards achieving, ing. When we have towards something, it should be with ing form. Okay, so with that we come to the close of the session. This is almost over. This was the last question, and very soon we'll come up with another set of questions, and where you can find out things maybe like better. This time I guess in case if you have lost some marks, it might be for the passages, right? So like read it properly, the comprehensive passages. Okay, so thank you so much. Thanks a lot. We'll meet again soon. Thank you.